Hello, so I'm going to be recapping the final season of Korra. This is Legend of Korra, Book 4, entitled Balance. This first episode of the premiere is called After All These Years, and we know that this takes place 3 years after the finale of Book 3. So the funny thing about this episode is that Korra's not really in it. So we start off in Republic City, and there's kind of like a TV ad talking about all the great things that have been happening in Republic City over the last 3 years. We start with Asami Sato rebuilding future industries, and she is combining her efforts with the president and Ba Sing Se monarchy to create a train line. Which is where we meet Prince Wu, the snobby, self-absorbed, kind of emasculated prince who is next in line to be the Earth King. He has a thing for Asami, and Mako's his bodyguard, and he's kind of got a naive view on the world and how it works, kind of sexist, kind of elitist, but, you know, he's that character that we all just hate and can't wait to see taken down. The other part of the episode takes place in an Earth Kingdom state called Yai, and we see that the airbenders, or 2 of them, have been dispatched to go and help this struggling town. The 2 airbenders are Opal and Kai. Oh my goodness, 2 characters that we love and that we follow. And so they go and they, stop bandits from taking all their supplies, but they're still in ruin. They're still starving and they still need help, which is where Kuvira comes in. If you don't remember Kuvira, that's okay, because she was seen like 2 seconds in the finale, so they just kind of introduced her so that she wouldn't be this brand new character in this season. However, we know that she was part of the Metal Clan, and now she's called Kuvira the Great Uniter, and she's going on a train with a bunch of her soldiers, which includes Bolin and Varric, to try to unite all the Earth Kingdom provinces after the Earth Queen's demise. So that kind of sent the entire nation into chaos, and she's trying to reunite them by taking them under her control. They have them sign contracts, and then they are under her protection. But of course, she's the uniter. It's very imperialist, kind of like Nazi Germany almost, taking nations and making them all together and unified. And in any case, she's that kind of leader. And so Bolin is kind of, loyal to her, but Opal clearly does not approve. She says, just go. If you're going to support Kuvira and not help the town, just leave. So, struggles between Opal and Bolin, but we know they have been dating for 3 years. Also, Kai and Jinora have been dating for 3 years, but it's kind of long distance since she's at Air Temple Island. And they're both kind of talking about how, it's a struggle, long-distance relationships. But the ships are sailing. Of new ships, Kuvira is engaged to Opal's oldest brother, Batar Jr., who kind of reminds me of a combination of Bill and Percy Weasley, because something happened with their mom, and she got mad, and something happened, and they're not on good terms right now. And that's kind of like Percy from Harry Potter, and and Bill's the oldest child, and he's kind of a rebel. And so what happened with Batar is something happened, and he's with Kuvira now, and he's helping unite the Earth Kingdoms in a very, very manipulative and corrupt way, which neither Opal approves of nor probably their mother. So long story short, Kuvira uses her tactics of manipulation and interference, including stealing the supplies from Opal and Bolin, who are transporting them on his bison, who, by the way, has grown a lot. But she steals the supplies from the town, so they're kind of left helpless and hopeless. And so the governor agrees to sign the contract, and now the state of Yai is under her control now. All hail Kuvira, the Great Uniter. Wow, doesn't this sound a little bit like Hitler? So back in Republic City, Mako was really not enjoying bodyguarding the pompous prince. However, according to Beifong, President Raiko is insisting that he follow him back to Ba Sing Se and stay with him. And Mako's like, I don't want to leave the city. I'm with the Republic City Police Force. I can't do that. I don't want to be with him 24/7. It's going to be really hard for Mako because this guy is extremely unlikable. Also back in the city, the air temple gets word that a water tribe ship is here, and all the kids are like, "Yay, Korra!" And then they realize that it's Tonrock on the ship, and he's like, "Isn't Korra here already?" And Tenzin's like, no." And Tonrock's like, "She has been in the city for 6 months. Where is she?" So we assume that she's somewhere in Republic City, or in a nearby city. Turns out that Korra has actually been in a fighting arena, or an earthbending, trying to, rebuild her strength and rebuild her skills, and she is just getting her ass whooped. It's more of like Korra trying to find herself and trying to, rebuild from what she lost. And what that really was is her identity as the Avatar, because of what, Zahir said and what Unalaq has been saying, that, the world doesn't need an avatar anymore. And so when the man asks, "Hey, you kind of look like Avatar Korra, except you got shorter hair," because yes, she got a haircut. And so he says, "Hey, whatever happened to her?" And she says, "I wouldn't know." Which is just like, she's completely distanced herself from who she is. And it's like, she's not even the Avatar anymore, because there is no Avatar, apparently. So we're probably going to focus on everything Korra and all of her motivations and what she's been going through in future episodes, which is going to be really interesting. But the main plot of this episode was kind of setting up the villain, obviously Kuvira, and, setting up the kind of conflicts that are arising in this now 3 years post-Zahir environment. So that's it for the first 20 minutes of Legend of Korra. Alright, see you next week in Republic City.